Get out the insurance cards, get out the copays. The office is open, my friends. Brought to you by drroto.com.
So let's get to it.
Bring the bang!
What's up, everybody? It's Heat Override, and I'm ready to bring the pain for you and Dr. Roto this week. Ooh, yeah. How you doing, Dan? How's your day been?
My day's been better, man. I had a rough week. That's why I wasn't here on Thursday. I apologize to everybody, but I'm back.
Yeah. No, that was just a crazy bunch of stuff. But hey, now we're moving on. Now it's on to the next thing and everything. And we just had we didn't have a belt change hands last night. I mean, that was pretty obvious to go about that. But we'll talk, of course, about that fight at the end there. And so everybody piling in right now, we're going to do a review of Volkanovski versus Lopes 2. And, of course, I'll run down through all the picks. I'll talk about some of the DFS percentages, owner percentages, that is. Also, how some of the parlays worked and a little bit of the work. But I guess we'll just start off. So I was, even though you had some things come up, I was able to go on the show with 138 MMA on the panel. One of the guys got sick. And then this other guy, Steven's picks, came in, and we kind of just passed it around and talked some really good stuff. And then, of course, the next day with the Fight Club of Pain, I had some exclusive bets I only gave out on the 138 MMA panels podcast. So I thought that was really cool, man. But I'm really excited about things like this because it kind of shows where we're going right now, where, you know, me and you have developed this product, the Fight Club of Pain, and just being open to the world. How do you feel about that?
Yeah, I'm excited, man. I'm excited. I'm just glad to be a part of it.
Right. I wasn't sure if that was just, I mean, even if, and all that crazy stuff didn't happen, felt like I didn't know if 9:15 and then after going live after another podcast would be, but I was surprised we got that podcast done in about an hour and 5 minutes.
Yeah.
That was a whole card. So that was really fun. But at the same time, man, it was like when I get to it on Friday, I'm sitting here, I'm missing you, and I'm like, oh man, I was like, yeah, I didn't have really go off to go off of, or to set me straight with a few of these fights, or maybe even change my opinion of maybe the Fiziev and Rufi fight. But of course, we were on the same side of that. There was the pathway for victory for Fiziev was presented, and things just happened, man. Did you see the knockout with?
I did. Dude, he's just a crisp stand-up fighter. That's all it is. He throws crisp, straight hands.
Yep.
And catches them. Hey, how you doing? Someone said hi.
Hey, what's up, Nada? So, you know, let's just roll it off. Let's start off the first thing. First, we had Mr. Face Tattoo, Aaron Tao get canceled with Dom Sarai Batibayar, which sucked. That was actually part of one of the parlays I did. I suggested a no distance parlay on the 138 show, and it was Batibayar, Zalazay, and BSD fights to all no distance. That was a plus 241 before that Batibayar fight was canceled. So that ended up hitting. That was really nice. Also, on top of that fight as well, too, the next fight, I had predicted on that show, and when I did my things, I predicted 8 finishes, 6 over. We got 7 finishes, 6 over, and the one canceled fight I had predicted as a finish. So I actually nailed the finishes and decisions for this card.
Nice.
Straight up. Yeah, it was something I'd never did before. I also did something else too. I'll get to that with that. But you know, the Lawrence Liu and Sangrila bullshit fight, this dude sat there, Dan, and tried to box with practically a wrestler. And for the first time, unlike a lot of other people, this dude is probably the worst guy in the world. Sangrila Larangla Blow. Look, he blows. We're going to call him Sula Blow at this point, right? Because what ended up happening was Sangrila Blow was boxing him, and the minute Liu would take him down, the dude would just cover his face, roll in a little ball, and then Liu just would start kneeing up his ass. And I was like, what?
What is he doing?
And then he would get back up, and then he would just box him again. Then he'd get taken down. And the minute he went down, he would just go like this, Dan. I'm not lying, dude. He would just be like this. And I'm like, this is not going to work out for you, man. And so Lawrence Slew got that win. I got that one wrong. I did have the Sangler bro. And he did look good on his feet. Everything was connected. It's just went down to the ground. It was over for him, dude. Regional people. Regional. Yeah. Now, Arrow.
You're cutting out.
Oh, am I cutting out a little bit?
Yeah.
How about now?
Yeah.
Okay, we're good. What's up, Unicorn Man? All right, so then the next fight, I had Sebastian Sazale. Sazale. And he ended up getting he controlled the whole fight. He was on his way to a win. And unfortunately, Nakamura, at this one point, Salazar just throws his punch, and Nakamura's foot comes up, bam, out, gone. So that was another one that thing. Where are you guys? Where are we, guys? We're just chilling out, having a good day in the Americas. So
we're in Pennsylvania.
Yeah, we're trying to talk. We're talking in UFC 325. So I'll move along. Sang-Wook Kim, or however your thing had it spelled, I had it that way, versus Don Marfan. Don Marfan just took that fight over. This is when we started winning. Bam, because I started out with those 2 losses. Move along. Because I did not have you, Dan, Can Offley was on this card. So Soup Can Offley came through and got a decision over Isa, dude. Did you catch any of the highlights from that fight?
I tried to watch all the highlights for all the fights, but it's hard to find the early prelims.
Oh, dude, you didn't miss much. All it was pretty much him beating Isa in the face the whole time. It was another patchy mix experience with Batista.
Just getting punched in the lip.
He's just getting punched in the lip, dude. Just getting punched in the lip. It was pretty funny. Now, moving along, Jonathan Misaliff versus Oben Elliott. I had that. I had Misaliff going in, and that worked out well for us as well. Jacob Malkoun beating Torres Finney. Another fight where Torres Finney goes distance, literally scores 26 points. He got some takedowns, but he can't box, Dan. Did you?
He's terrible standing up, man. He's terrible.
And it was, that's a confidence builder for somebody like Jacob Malkoun coming back from like the surgery, the long time off. And Torres Finney still gave him those slams. So that was he's confident that he's able to take those blows while hitting that. So that was really cool that to build that confidence for Malkoun. And I mean, he got us some points, and he wasn't even that owned. So we'll get to that a little later. But dude, did you see the Cam Rouston Cody Brundage stuff?
I did. Cody Brundage was going to be my soup can of this week. I had it all written up, but unfortunately, I could not do the show. But I would have been right about that soup can. Yeah.
And Rouston really took that over. Now Brundage had Rouston and hit Rouston plenty of times when he blitzed. And so that was throwing Rouston's like groove off. But dude, when I was watching this fight, all I saw was Rouston's throwing the 1 and 2, but he would do the fake. He would fake, throw the 1, fake. And dude, every time he dropped that right down the hoof, it hit Brundage every time on the chin. And I was like, there's no way that this is going to take any long in this fight. This fight is not going to go over just like I had, because he kept hitting him and hitting him. And he was getting hit. He was throwing back his hits too, but Brundage could not stop that right reverse punch down the pipe, dude. And I was like, it's only a matter of time. And eventually he did lose. And then of course, Billy Alicana subs Junior Tafa. That was.
I saw that Junior Tafa rocked him a few times though.
He did. Tafa looked good. Tafa was on him. And it was kind of funny because Alicana was just sitting there like, yeah, that was a good one. And he kept walking back to the middle of the ring. So I was like, Why is he just walking back to the middle of the ring? Why doesn't he just at least stay in there and box with him? I mean, I know he's getting it, but like you're not even pacing to the ring. You're walking back to the middle of the ring. You should be trying to wrestle this guy. And then he finally wrestled and tapped, done. That was just crazy. Dude, and Quillen Salkin, he didn't have to beat up Jamie Malarkey's face that much. Choking him out, dude, that was just insane.
That kid is good, man. I told you that was my rookie of the year last year.
Yeah, it was. You are correct. That and there's a good reason. He starts off the year with the win, looking dominant, just like he did in his last fight. Although a few people thought that he was a little behind on the punch stat at that point. He still got the knockout with his kick. It still shows that he can attack from any direction and use skills on the ground. So and he looked great on the ground too. So he's definitely living up to that mantle you put him on, because he's gonna have a great sophomore year if it keeps going that way.
Hopefully, I like that kid, man.
And then I am sorry to talk about this next fight, but unfortunately the roast beef fell apart. It was shredded meat of sloppiness, fat rolling. There was a little fat. And the Tai Tuivasa and Taliesin Teixeira fight showed why they should probably just cut both those wild men. Dude, did you see any of that fight?
Yeah, it wasn't a good fight, man. Both these guys are just big and sloppy. That's why I'm not a fan of this heavyweight division.
Mm-hmm.
Never have been.
No, and like Tuivasa came on late, and I'm surprised. Like Teixeira, he couldn't even throw a punch. It was literally like Teixeira would take him down, and he would hold him down. First and second round went by. And I'm like, why don't you just finish him? If Teixeira actually knew how to submit, he had him every single time. His neck was completely exposed to Tuivasa, that is, and he couldn't pull him up. And then Tuivasa was eating his punches, dude, eating those punches. And then at the end, that last round of them barely being able to stand, throwing haymakers, I'm like, dude, this is a horrible.
Tuivasa is 0-6 in his last 6 fights, bro. He has not won. He has not won one in his last 6 fights.
And I will say this: Waldo Cortez Acosta would beat the brakes off of both of these guys. He beat the brakes off. And Taliesin Teixeira would get bum rushed by WCA, bro.
I don't know. We've seen Teixeira look pretty good though, so I don't know. We've seen him look good, and we've seen this.
All right, we'll move along. Fiziev looked amazing
in that first round. He looked great in that first round.
Yes, he did. And then it took one punch. That punch opened up his entire left side of his eye. Mm-hmm. And then when Rufi hit him with that other punch, that put that big purple mark on his right side. He literally took 2 kill shots to the face, and he let that one. But his game plan was working perfectly for this fight to go over. And is that what you saw in this fight?
Yeah, I saw Fiziev doing his game plan and actually winning exchanges, but Rufi just has that one-shot kill power.
Yeah. Yep. It shows why if you're going to box with him, that eventually, and Rufi looked a little scared at first, hesitant, but he was waiting, and then he weathered that storm, figured it out, and when he sent that down the pipe, that was it. And it was just, it was a great fight up until that point too. They just had it. So I had Fiziev, of course, but what's happening.
I had Fiziev went into.
It was good to see Rufi give you those hugs, give that love back to the Fighting Nerds. He released his statement that he's going to go back to the Fighting Nerds, but he wants to do one more round of what he's doing right now. So he's going to do that, and then he's supposed to be going back. So that was good. And of course, I was talking about the hug with Prates out there. That was just it was so amazing to see those guys come back, man. And see Rufi come back because he's young, he's good, he's got that skill.
All those guys are good, man. I think they should branch out and learn different skill sets because what they do works for them, but when they run into someone that knows a little bit more, then they don't know what to do, and it's shown on everyone in the Fighting Nerds.
Yeah, and you're right about that. And actually, the guy who did show that last time against Mauricio Rufy was Benoit Saint Denis. And dude,
he's a stud, man. He's a stud.
Talk about that fight, man, dude. Dan Hooker, what? Oh boy,
Dan Hooker held his ground for the first round. That first round, he held his ground. It was he won a few exchanges. It's just Benoit Saint Denis. He's too good. That loss, those two losses in a row to Poirier and I forget who, and was it Gaethje? Poirier and Gaethje fought. His two losses in a row. That sparked something in him, and he's been on fire ever since.
It was you had Poirier. It was Moicano.
Yeah,
Moicano. The doctor stoppage.
Yeah. Those two losses in a row, man. He after that, he's been on fire.
Yeah, I mean he's had two submissions after that, and then two knockouts because he knocked out Dariush last time. So he's kind of already did that. Now I think right now if he ran it back with Moicano, he destroys him. He destroys him easily.
Yeah, I'd love to see BSD fight Armand. I'd love that fight. Yeah.
Yeah. Nope. There it is. I was
that fight.
Going to say because I was talking about this last week, and I kind of brought it up on the 138 MMA podcast that if BSD wins this match, you got to think either he's looking at maybe a title shot, maybe not yet. And I know we already know that Topuria and Gaethje are going to fight, whatever.
Yeah,
but Sarukian and BSD is a perfect matchup.
Yeah, I think those two should fight, or he waits a little bit and he fights the winner of the Max Holloway Oliveira fight. Yeah.
And I recently saw too that Paddy Pimblett was recently called out as well too online. They by Rufy. Would you like to see Rufy versus Pimblett?
No, I don't want to see that fight. I don't want to see Paddy Pimblett fight anyone in the top 5.
Okay, yeah. So right now, I mean, before this win for Rufy, he was 14th, and of course, Hooker is 6th. Do you feel that?
I think he goes up to maybe 8 or 9, but I don't want to. Yeah, I don't want to see Paddy Pimblett fight anybody in the top 10. I said 5, but I don't want to see him fight anybody in the top 10.
I agree.
I think he needs to get back to, training camp, and he needs some significant wins under his belt to even be considered for anything.
All right. I agree with that 100%. So a little fantasy booking. We said this. BSD is probably going to move up right under to either Pimblett or Holloway in these rankings, probably also over Rufy because he beat him.
Yep.
And so when we look at that, we got of course Holloway versus Oliveira. If Holloway wins and Topuria and Gaethje go down and Topuria wins, do you think it's Holloway versus Topuria?
Yes.
All right. Now, is that something you would like to see? Because
I would absolutely love it. It's at 155. It's at Max's real weight class. It's at Topuria's real weight class. Put both belts up.
Yeah, I like that. Because, I mean, it would make sense at this point because whoever's the baddest mother effer coming out of that match definitely deserves that belt as well, too.
Put both belts up.
Yeah, I like it because I don't want to see Oliveira win, and then I don't want to see Topuria versus Oliveira, and I don't want to see Oliveira versus Gaethje. I don't want to see those again. I honestly at that point. And then after the Holloway fight, then I think the Sarukian gets that fight. But I think that Sarukian needs either somebody like BSD or somebody like Patty Pimblett. He needs to stay busy and get through one or two of those guys, and then that settles everything down for the Holloway and Topuria fight. I like the way that runs.
I agree.
All right, let's move along to the Volkanovski versus Diego Lopes. Diego Lopes fixed everything. One of my bets I threw down was a draw bet, and it wasn't even close to a draw. They didn't even give Lopes any respect. I think it was a 50-45.
Yeah, he didn't win one round. Not one round.
And I didn't see that. It wasn't that I was trying to be blind for what Lopes was doing. Lopes kept his stance short. Lopes tried to make attempts. And when Volk actually went after him, Lopes was able to not be held as long as possible. He did his work. He stayed active. He kept his hand out. And that's what I thought that really helped.
Keeping his hand out's not being active. That's gauging your distance. He wasn't throwing any strikes when he had his hand out.
No, he wasn't.
So that's not being active. He did the exact same thing he did in the first fight. He didn't do anything. He didn't try to fight Volk. He didn't attack Volk. And Volk treated him like the child he is. It just said, "Hey, I'm going with, if you don't want to fight, I'll beat you for a decision." And that's what happened.
Yeah, and I hear that his feet are broken after that. You could probably tell that when Volk kind of ended up. I feel, and I could be wrong, but I felt that they just kind of went this way. If that would have been Lopes on top at the end, doing a ground and pound, I feel Lopes would be the new champion. But that didn't happen.
Only if he finished him, though. If the fifth round ended and he was on top, he would have just won that fifth round. He already lost 4 rounds.
Yeah. Yep. I agree with that as well, too. And I said this straight up on the thing, and I know that I picked Lopes, and I know that you picked Volkanovski. And so when I get to the parlay of pain, you'll actually think it was kind of cool what I did. But one of the cool things going through this, like this whole card, I had this Hooker knockout and BSD sub prop, which was really cool. And then, when I got down to I had this other one, the Rafa sub and Roofy knockout was plus 260. So I really found some really unique bets this weekend where I was able to gauge both fighters. With this fighter, even though I had ran through a lot, it was all distance and money line for Volkanovski. Money line distance parlayed was a 145. I had knockout and points negative 130. And then, of course, it got crazy. I was surprised there was no knockdown. They never counted that knockdown on Volkanovski a knockdown. Not at all.
Yeah. I think it was a slip, too. He got hit, and then he slipped also. So,
okay.
That one was hard to tell. He kind of got clipped. He didn't get hit flush. It wasn't like a big shot that dropped him. So, I think that's why they didn't count it. But I think at this point in Volk's career, he is going to be what Merab and Shevchenko and all these greats these great older fighters are. They're content on just whooping your ass for 5 rounds.
Yeah, it is. And now he was tied for the second most title fight wins. And I think he ties, but he had 5 title defenses. Now he has 6 title defenses. This is putting him into godlike status, as you were just referring to.
He's the featherweight GOAT. He really is. He's a featherweight GOAT.
Yeah, I agree. And like you said, he was able to stand toe-to-toe with Makhachev. He went the full distance. And second time, he just got hit. He just got hit. But the thing is Makhachev is a great fighter.
Yeah.
He's not a bum. He's not going to lose to Patchy Mix. He would eat him up.
I mean, Makhachev is the best pound-for-pound fighter in the world.
Exactly. So there's no reason. But I think it goes back to those rugby days when I was kind of typing to you last night, giving you kind of like a little thing talking about the Warrilla Gorillas.
Yeah, I know all about his past. I know
you do. You were probably laughing. You were like, "This guy really did go back and do his little research."
Yeah, I mean, he also weighed like 240 pounds, which is crazy because he's only like 5'7".
Well, those rugby guys are thick dudes. They run around. They thick dudes. I don't know why I say dudes.
Mate, he has he lost a step? Yeah, he's lost a step, but he hasn't lost enough steps to not be great.
Yeah, and his boxing still is crisp. And here's another thing: his boxing is so good. Even if you say, "Oh, it's lost a second, it's lost some luster," it's still leagues above everybody else's.
Yes.
So,
yes.
You know, that just kind of shows right there, kind of the heart and the tenacity that Alexander the Great Volkanovski brings to the octagon every time he's through. That being said, you know, there was a lot of things this go in the distance. I wanted some violence, but I strictly said that Volkanovski wins this if it goes to the cards. Lopes only wins by knockout. That's what I had there. It's exactly what played out. But you see them promoting Gene Silva. Do you think it's Silva versus Volkanovski next?
I'd have to look at the weight class. Hold on, let me see who's in the weight class, because Volk said he's only fighting people that are in line for the fight. He's not taking big names. He said he wants to fight where people are actually ranked. So which is fabulous for the UFC. UFC.
It is. So, you know, right now we got Mo Vosar Avalov. He'll probably be the number one contender. If you after that, Diego's probably going to slip.
Featherweight.
Of course, Lerone Murphy. That name's going to be thrown around a lot.
So Lopes he's not getting another shot for a long time. I don't think he gets another shot as long as Volk is the champ.
I agree with that. 100.
Evolov, Murphy. I don't think Yair gets another shot at Volk ever again. Both of those guys, Diego Lopes and Yair, both lost twice to Volk.
Yep.
I don't think they deserve shots.
Nope.
I would love to see Silva fight either Lerone Murphy. I would love to see that fight.
Okay.
Silva and Murphy, and then Evolov gets the title shot. Or give Murphy the title shot and have Silva fight Evolov. One of the two.
Yeah. And I agree with you. We're gonna look over. We're overlooking Aljamain Sterling. I don't think he equates into that because he has some losses to some of these guys.
Yeah. I mean, if Aljamain wants to fight, have him fight Diego Lopes.
Yeah. There you go. That's actually perfect. Bam, dude. This we fantasy book like no tomorrow, dude. I feel that these are the fights that this division needs to have. And then after that, maybe Arnold Allen versus Steve Garcia. I'd love to see that.
I'd like to see Arnold Allen and Yair go at it.
Oh, okay. Dude, I would probably take Arnold Allen in that fight.
I'd love to see that fight. And right there, we just booked the top 6.
Yes, we did.
Actually, top 7. Top 7 people.
We did. We didn't even have to. And if you want to go as far, give Yusuf Salal, Brian Ortega, and call it a day. That whole fight right there. I just don't even care about that.
Brian Ortega, man, I'm done with him.
Yeah. I mean, Aljamain Sterling beating him last time, and then of course, you know, right now he's looking forward to he's scheduled March 7th to fight Volcano. So for me, that's just exactly where Ortega kind of goes. But man, you know, like Zalal, he's open. They'll find a fight for him. Maybe it's the Allen fight. Maybe that's where Aljamain Sterling goes. But I think honestly, what we just said right there, going towards where Volk's destiny is, I love it. I think that goes down, man. Hell yeah.
Yeah. And I mean, even in that lightweight division, you got BSD. I think Dan Hooker falls out of the top 10, which he deserves to fall out of the top 10. There's no reason why that man should be in the top 10. He's lost his lost his last 4
to like all these guys too, other than Gamrot.
Yeah,
like he's gotten his face beat in or checked out by most of these guys.
Yeah, so I mean, I would love to see give BSD a shot. Give Gamrot his shot against one of these guys. Make Gamrot fight Paddy Pimblett.
Yeah, dude, why not? That's right there. That and you know that would be an excellent. That would get Paddy back on the mats where Paddy should have been in that last fight, and he did not. But that again goes back to exactly what you said about Gaethje. He established the dominance by grabbing the back of Paddy's neck and pushing him down. By doing those exchanges,
that front face lock. That front face lock, he just drug him to the mat.
And then he just let him back up. He was showing him, it was kind of like a lion doing his growl, putting you down. He's saying, no, at any point you attempt this, I will do this.
Yeah.
And so that was kind of where I think that Paddy kind of got thrown off.
Truthfully, I don't think Paddy deserved to be in that fight. We've talked about this. Paddy did not deserve a title fight. He's fought no one other than Justin Gaethje, and he lost to Justin Gaethje. And everybody counted Justin Gaethje out of that fight. Everybody.
Yep, I did.
And
I had him. I said he could knock him out, but he couldn't knock him out. But it just went distance.
And he did look slower, and I do think it was because of the medication he was taking for that thing on his neck.
Okay. All right.
But,
so you would even been more crisp.
Yeah. Because if you go back, what's that?
I said I'll agree with you on that. Go on.
Yeah, if he wasn't on medication for 10 days before that fight, you take antibiotics and you're weight cutting, that weighs on your system.
Yeah.
And I think he was just drained, and he was dead tired by the 3rd round, but he was still throwing.
And Paddy was just still eating them because that was it showed where this is something we talked about, but there was you said this, there was a clip that we made of this when you said the only way Paddy Pimblett wins this match is by submission, not by distance and not by knockout.
Mm-hmm.
And that's exactly what happened. It went distance, Paddy lost. And that's it.
There was no way he was winning 3 out of 5 rounds against Justin Gaethje standing up.
Yeah.
There was no way.
Exactly. No way. Just pure volume alone. He wasn't going to look good on the scorecard.
And I'm glad you realize that now.
I do. Sometimes I am blinded by my new faith in some of these new fighters. You bring that out, and it's the infinity. I shoot down the old guard, and sometimes the old guard intrigue me, and sometimes the old guard makes me go, well, let's get on to the next era. But you know what?
It's still their era, man.
Yeah, like champs like Volkanovski are always just going to be great, no matter what they do.
Like Max Holloway. Max Holloway's an old guy. He's one of the old guard, and he's still there.
And that would be like me saying, "Oh, I think that Max Holloway, like Rafa Vaziev has a chance against Max Holloway." I don't think he would. I think he would probably get knocked out again. But at the same time, going on outside, they're throwing Roofy up there. Roofy versus Holloway. That sounds like a fun fight in the distance future. But for right now, everything that we got going on in that division is just great. And that's what I do. I do see it. I've learned my lessons. I take my losses, and it is what it is.
I stick up for the old guard, man.
You do, and you were right. You called it out with Teixeira that he was going to do his dumb stuff with Derek Lewis, and Derek Lewis was going to knock him right across that chin. And if Tuivasa had the power of Derek Lewis, he probably got the 3rd round knockout.
Yep,
but he did not. And that sucks because I did have the fight finishing at a negative 185 in the 1st or 3rd, And then I had a knockout for him at 320, but whatever. I didn't put a lot of money on that. I actually didn't have a lot of money on this event. I rolled all of the parlays that I'm going to talk about, and then DFS. So, and then I took advantage of one of the things on DraftKings, and then I missed some other stuff. So we'll get to that real quick here. But overall, the card, it was a good card. Did you like it?
Yeah, it was entertaining, man. Entertaining. They put on some good fights, and I only got to see highlights. I didn't watch the fights live. I was a little busy trying to get things right with the house. So
yeah, trying to fix what happened. But you did see the Royal Rumble.
I did.
Do you feel they got it right with Liv Morgan and Roman Reigns?
I do. I like both those winners. I could have called Roman Reigns coming back and winning, especially after that Pat McAfee interview. Yeah, he kind of let it slip out that he was just coming back to dominate. Liv Morgan, she deserves it. She came in second 2 years in a row.
Yep.
Came in third the year before that. She deserves it. It's her time. I think she's the number one female in wrestling right now.
She's getting a lot of push. Chrissy hates it, but she is getting a lot of push. And I'm like, you kind of just sometimes she's putting out hard work and some people see it.
Yeah, she deserves it. And I mean, there was a lot of stuff that I hated about the men's Royal Rumble. I hated all the corny people like the iguana guy and
come on, man.
Two Americanos coming in. I mean, I get it. Chad Gable's back. Just come in as Chad Gable.
Yeah.
I did like Powerhouse Hobbs coming out.
Yeah, that was cool. And Obafemi.
I was expecting Chris Jericho to come out.
Me too. I was a little sad.
Because they WWE did put in a trademark for the name Judas.
Mm-hmm.
So all right. He's obviously going to come out to that song when he comes back.
And at this point, I don't know if he's going to come back in a wrestling capacity. If he's not going to come back in the Royal Rumble, this might just be a Hall of Fame induction, which is where I think that this is going anyway. And I think that this class is lacking a headliner. We don't know the headliner yet. Maybe Jericho's that headliner. Do you think that's possible, or do you think they go in a different way?
That is possible. I never thought of it that way, but I think that could be possible. I think John Cena is probably going to headline, and I think AJ Styles is probably going to be. I think AJ Styles is probably going to be in it too, which I absolutely hated because Styles is one of my favorite all-time wrestlers. He's like top 5 for me.
Okay,
but I just hate the way they push Gunther to be the basically legend killer now, like Randy Orton once was.
Mm-hmm.
And every match is the same with him. All it is a sleeper hold, chop, sleeper hold, power bomb, chop, sleeper hold, power bomb. That's it. It's
elbow.
Yeah, it's every match, chop, sleeper hold, power bomb. That's it. That's all it does. That's all it is.
And then a low blow. He got this famous behind the leg kick up.
Yeah,
it's crazy. And they push Gunther, and he is a hard worker. But like he's a better version of William Regal.
Yeah, that's all he is. That's all he is. He's a better version of William Regal.
And they love the shit out of him.
But William Regal could actually wrestle. Gunther could wrestle when he tries, but he doesn't try. Chop, sleeper hold, power bomb. That's it. That's all we get.
I like it. And and that was something I had in my WWE articles for my top 10. I had Roman Reigns, and one of my last things, and I did not update him the whole time, was you would think it's possible to see Roman Reigns before the Rumble, but there's no way we're probably going to see him until that music hits. And that's what he did, and he came out and he won it. So I think that's a great angle, but now it's like, who does he choose? When does he choose? Where do you think that goes with him?
I think it goes to CM Punk because they had problems in the past. I think it's CM Punk and Roman. I think that's a lock. And I think they're going with the Jacob Fatu, Drew McIntyre, and Cody Rhodes triple threat for the title at WrestleMania also.
That. Dude, I didn't even think about that, but you are so 100 correct. And again, those are the things I'm running about. So it's like when you pop my mind like that, it's like, wait a minute, he is right, because I say that these guys have been coming after each other. When it's Cody and Drew, it's Fatu coming in. It's Fatu doing this. It's Cody doing this. It's Drew, and Drew's like that instigator, like we've talked about in our previous things. It's crazy, and it's fun to watch because a lot of people don't like Drew as the champion, and I honestly thought, I was like, okay, if Sammy wins this, I'm okay with that. But it just he's not. Do you think that there's ever going to get that chance that Sammy's going to get that title from somebody, or is it just he's right now a year or two out?
I think he deserves it. He's put in the work, and he's very over with some fans. But I don't think he's the face of the company. You can't build your company around Sami Zayn, and you really could. As a heel, you could build your company around Drew McIntyre. He is that good of a heel.
Yeah. I mean, they practically did it before years ago during the C word years.
Yeah.
But at the same time, like, was that just like he was the perfect guy to run with it then? He had his different thing. That's when he was kind of like a face. But now he's got that heel who he really is as a wrestler. This is Drew McIntyre.
Yeah.
So I'm fine with him with holding that belt right now and making things happen. And if that triple threat match happens and nobody else sees their way into it, I think easily Cody Rhodes could get that win at WrestleMania.
Yeah, I would love to see that not happen. I think Cody is better when he's chasing the belt, not when he has it.
I can agree with that. A lot of people forget the story, but then we have the story.
And then he was a boring champion. Just boring champion. Like no good storylines, nobody coming after him because he's so nice that everybody just wants to get along with him. There's no heels coming after him. It was just it was Jey Uso like, oh, what's up, Uso? Let's fight. It was just I am ecstatic that Jey Uso is out of the title picture. I do. He doesn't do a new tag team. Doesn't deserve to be in the title picture. I would love to see LA Knight get a push, but I don't know why he's hated, but
they kept him off TV for a long time. I've kind of just left him on that list as well for a minute because I kind of knew that there was no reason for them in storylines current right now, although he was in that storyline with Cody Rhodes and Fatu and all that stuff. So you could see him kind of put if that match becomes a fatal 4-way, I could see LA Knight popping into that match, but I could also see him being one of the first of two people being eliminated in that match. But it would be nice. But I think I would like to just see it as a triple threat match.
Yeah, and I don't know where they're going with Elimination Chamber because that's where they get the second title contender.
Yeah,
so
that's where they get it.
So either Cody wins or Jacob Fatu wins or nobody. Those are the last two and nobody wins.
Like the whole ring kind of implodes. There's they just give them a tie and that's how they set up the triple threat.
Or Drew McIntyre gets in the cage and just beats the brakes off of both of them.
Yeah, that's exactly what would happen. Exactly what would happen right there. That's it.
But I don't know.
Oh, dude, wrestling, man, it always got some fun stuff. Well, before we get out of here and ease the show out, let me roll through these bets and these percentages real quick. So we'll roll through. Salkid on DK was 61%, 37 on FanDuel. Offley was practically the key. That soup can Offley pulled off 8% on DraftKings, 12% on FanDuel. Cesale, even though he lost, he was winning that fight. He had a lot of points. I think he scored over 40 points still. He had 80 significant strikes, 79 significant strikes around there. He was 12% owned on DraftKings, 20% owned on FanDuel. Malkoun, 17 on DraftKings, 16 on FanDuel. That is insane. Every one of these guys I'm talking about, Offley, Sazale, and Malkoon, were on a few of my lineups as well, too. BSD was 64, DK 44, FanDuel. Volk was 39 on DK, 41% on FanDuel. Roofy was 14% on DK, which helped me cash, and 21% on FanDuel, which helped me cash on that as well. Missalef was 17 and 17 on both sites. Lopes was 44 on FanDuel, 52 on DraftKings. And then Kim, I'm throwing in Kim as around 26%. A couple of the lineups I gave out 620 and 616. Those are in the subs only Discord at Dr. Roto. That was on FanDuel. And then a 471 and a 459, both scoring cash on DraftKings, again in the FanDuel. Dude, it was even like this. The card wasn't hard to do a lot of pricing, but there was a lot of expensive guys. So it was kind of like it was nice to see that come. I did really well on the card, but it was like, you're always tentative when you go into these cards that have 4, but ended up being 3 regional fights, road to UFC stuff. So it kind of gets hard. It shrinks the card. And I stayed away from a lot of those guys.
Yeah, it's hard to judge those guys, man, because you barely see them. They're like on their own regional circuit. You can only look up clips of theirs if they have them on the internet. So,
yeah, and that goes back, and then this, get into the betting section of it real quick, but it comes back to actually what broke my round robin. For the parlay of pain. I'll just say the parlay of pain was Sulang Rebo. And I had him as money line. Again, he went down like a little girl and covered himself up. And then if that's one fight you go watch this dude, when you see him, the minute Lou touches him, he just curls. He just goes down himself. He curls, dude. I'm like, what is he doing? And then they brought up this thing. They were like, they said seconds to escape, 17 seconds. Because he didn't try to escape. He just sat there. It was bad. I had Zalazay fight distance, no. I had the Vizic fight going under for a plus 122. I had BST knockout sub negative 130. And this is where I was talking to you earlier. It's one of the rare times I actually made 2 parlay of pains.
Yeah.
I did Lopes 1. That went 3 and 2. That actually returned money. I returned 110% of what I put in.
Nice.
So I was like, on a 3 and 2 round robin, this is one of those instances where I was able to hit the distance or the no distance on Salazay, Fazeev, and BSD. And because that was a 156 negative plus 122 and then a negative 130, those fights put together made a lot of money. However, that parlayed together for 5. That 5 was still that was for a 2,381. Now I made a Volkanovski. I took Lopes right out because I had Lopes knockout points. I had Volkanovski knockout point, and then he did attempt that one submission. I got a little worried there, but the Volkanovski parlay, 5-leg parlay, was plus 1469. Kisongla Rongbo, which I should not have played with, should not have trusted him, should have picked. I had plenty other fights I could pick from. That would have hit 100% on that play. But that 4-1 on that was one of the 4-1s. And then, of course, so I already said the original parlay of pain went 3 and 2, 4-1. And then the money line one that I had Sangra LeBeau on it. And so I had I'm just gonna find it right here. So that money line right there was Sangra LeBeau broke that. It was in the subs only Discord. That was 4-1. And then I had the other 4-1 lineup or the 5-0 lineup I had was the 5 tastic picks. I highlighted the Salazay fight, no distance, Missalef, money line, Rouston, knockout sub, Salkid, knockout or sub. That was a negative 370. It was up there, but I wanted to make sure I played it. BSD, knockout, and sub. And that all 5 hit. The round robin hit. Everything hit. Total out, I probably put on just the initial build of these, because of course all my initial builds are 10-cent bets
Yeah.
alone. I put more money out other than this alone returned over $55. So this is when round robin works, and I was able to go 3-2, 4-1, 4-1, and 5-0. And so that again takes the 5-tastic picks to 10-0 for the year, 8-2 on the actual call finishes for the thing, going 5-0 this week, 3-2 last week. And this brings me up to and then of course the violence one I had Terrence Finney, this is on 138 MMA, Salkid under 1.5, and Elikana sub and knockout. I parlayed that. It went 2-1. And then, like I said, the other one, the Bat TVR one, became a 2-0 parlay. So even on that show, I gave out a 2-1 parlay, a 2-0 parlay, and there was just greatness all over. But this is the product that we have created. This is the style. I said on the online last night after this, because I had some beers and I was feeling good. This is why the Fight Club is so successful. This is why we have what we do.
Yeah, I agree, man. We have I think we have a good system.
Yes, we've developed a good system.
Yeah,
and you've brought up plenty of times that system is one of a kind.
Yeah. There's not so many people that, because I don't bet, you do.
Exactly.
So I help you with your picks because sometimes I change your mind from what I say.
Exactly.
So,
and that's what I was talking about earlier. I might have came off the Zeev and went roofie if we had actually been able to podcast. We don't know.
Yeah.
But the thing is that was still one of those things. That was a hard fight to pick.
Yeah.
So, that's what when we're getting all this and we're doing all this, that's what I want. That's why I made the comment, we don't count units because we trust our process.
Yeah.
All right, man. That's great. So before we get out of here and anything up, man, is there anything else you want to talk about, man? I'm down for some stuff for a sec.
No, I'm just hopefully this week coming is better than last week.
I agree with that. I think everybody should live by those rules, no matter how bad of a week you can have. And there can be some bad weeks.
And it will always get better.
That's right. Thursday, I found out I'll have to eventually probably have surgery for that hernia. But on Saturday, I delivered a first place open hands kata and a second place weapons kata. And then I went to the grand champions, and the guy who beat me for the overall weapons kata edged me by 2 points. And man, I was like, dude, I put out a great kata on that grand champion stand, and it just didn't work out. But that's okay. You start the season strong, and I think that you can have some things. And you asked to come on this show today, and I said absolutely.
I did, man, because I missed Thursday, and then I missed Friday, and you had to do it by yourself, and I apologize.
Okay, you trained me well enough for that.
It was just a hectic week for me. Hectic week.
It truly was. It truly was, man. Well, all right, man. I've had a great one again. I can't wait till Thursday. Our boy Juicebox Walker has a really hard fight this week.
Yes,
we're
sir.
gonna definitely break that down. We're not gonna do the 5 fights. We can do 3 or 4. We'll talk about that. Keep it nice and simple.
But we got to cover the Juicebox fight. We got to cover it.
Oh, we are covering the Juicebox fight. That fight's gonna be so hard. And I already know that I'm gonna be on the Juicebox side. I already literally underlined his name, and I already know that a lot of people aren't giving him a shot.
I think he has a good chance in this fight. I think he has a good chance, and I'll break it down on Thursday.
I cannot wait. All right, brother, man. You get to your stuff. Let's have a great week this way. Let's get ready to slay it on Thursday. And have a great day, everybody. And always remember to bring the pain. Thanks again, Dan. Much love, my brother.
All right, bro.
Thanks for stopping by the office. Get your fantasy prescription by subscribing to the channel and checking out drroto.com. Until the next visit, be well and take care.